left-handed snare and tom-tom drums with a foot pedal. In other news right now, you're on tour right now with Rising Force.
Yes, we've been touring with AC/DC as an opening act for AC/DC since August 31st, almost actually. And we have about 4 more gigs to go, and then I have a month off, and we go out with Ron James Dio to the northern west coast. And after that I'm going to go into the studio and do my 3rd album.
Riding high with the success of their latest album, Rat says that they'll take only a few weeks off after the completion of their Invasion of Your Privacy tour. Then they'll enter the recording studio with a couple of new tunes guitarist Robin Crosby has written with fellow band members.
Next is a video with my band, Rising Force, a song called I'll See the Light Tonight. Make sure you're watching this one.
Welcome back. Yngwie, you say your musical influences run along the lines of classical composers like Bach and the violin virtuoso Paganini.
Yes, yes.
How did that come about? Why did you
Basically, that was, I became very frustrated of listening just to guitar players because it seemed like they only play the same thing over, because most guitar players listen to other guitar players and they get inspired by, the guitar playing as such. So what I started doing, I started listening to different musicians, and then mainly violinists in classical orchestras and so forth, and I found it much more, challenging. It gave me more inspiration and everything to learn how to play like that and do that in the context of heavy rock.
Well, you definitely need a much finer technique to do that kind of playing.
Definitely.
You can't just kind of run through it.
No, it requires a lot more technique, yeah.
Yngwie, you've been here in this country for 3 years, and you've already been with 2 bands, Steeler and Alcatraz. You were also named 1985's Guitarist of the Year by Guitar Players magazine, by the readers, in fact, and you beat out people like Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
You've also been given a reputation of being very, very, very sure of yourself and your music. What inspires you?
Well, it's basically just, you get, you're driven to do something better and better all the time. That's basically my thing, I'm never really satisfied with what I'm doing, and I always want to do it better, and I don't like to compromise on my art, basically. That's maybe why my, reputation of being very strong-headed, so to speak, that's where it comes from.
You're a perfectionist.
Yes, yes.
Tell us something about the band Rising Force and your video.
Okay, this is the first commercial video we've done, and it's from the 2nd album, Marching Out, and it's we did it at the stage set of Conan the Barbarian, and we utilized a lot of effects such as lasers and this big mechanical dragon and big staircases and stuff, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of work. Almost put myself on fire a couple of times. But, the dragon spits the fire out, and there's real fire. It almost burns my hair off. And my guitar is actually burning. I have to put the stuff in my hand so my hand doesn't burn. And in the beginning, there's a lot of work behind it, but it was fun.
Fortunately, you're here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
All right.
Yngwie, in that video with the fire-breathing dragons, you play a left-handed guitar, right-handed, or upside down.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Basically no reason at all, except I just think it looks kind of cool, and because Jimi Hendrix played his left-handed upside down, but he played it, well, no, he played right-handed.
We're getting all mixed up here.
Okay, well, you know what I mean, and it looks the same, basically, and the reason I don't do it all the time is because sometimes you can't reach the very high frets, so that's the only reason, basically.
Makes interesting conversation. Lisa Robinson's been telling us about new bands all this week. Who are some of your all-time favorites?
I love the early Deep Purple records. I think they were really good. And some of the very early Genesis records I thought were great as well. And I listened to bands like John Locke Pontives, which is not a band, really. You know that?
Oh, yes.
And a band called UK, I love them.
Well, we're going to take a look now at some new bands when Radio 1990 continues with Lisa Robinson's introduction to Britain's hottest new band, The Cult, and their video, She Sells Sanctuary. We'll be right back with a birthday salute to
Jimi Hendrix. Happy birthday.
In 1970, you decided to become a guitarist.
Yeah. In fact, the very same day they had a TV special, and they showed the very clip we're going to see now from Monterey Pop when he burns up the guitar. And in fact, I was given a guitar on my 5th birthday, but I didn't like it. I was more into like playing with toys and stuff, you know. So I took the guitar off the wall the same day. But the reason I wanted to start learning how to play was to smash them up.
That sounds like something a kid would want to do.
Yeah, that's how it started. But then, of course, it became slightly more serious than that.
Hendrix was born on this day in 1942, and he was long considered one of the most innovative guitarists ever. Now, how would you describe Jimmy's music and his particular sound?
He was just totally revolutionary. The way he came across the very first couple of records, his sound and everything, he just was totally crazy with it. He, you know, because the Fender Stratocaster, the guitar he played, wasn't really made to play like that, you know. And he just went crazy with it, you know. And he did sounds that nobody else been doing before with feedback and stuff. But he was just a lot more than people really thought he was. He was a great composer, lyricist, everything. You know.
Let's take a look at some of the Monterey Pop Festival that Yngwie was talking about. It's a rare look at Jimi Hendrix in concert, and it's available from the Sony home video. That was really incredible. As Hendrix is a hero to many aspiring young musicians, you, Yngwie, at the ripe old age of 22, are an inspiration to a lot of young people today. What kind of advice could you give them?
Really, the only, not the only, but a very good advice would be to try to listen to other musicians and classical music more than anything else. Just to try to expand their views, really. Violinists and keyboard players usually are more developed as musicians than electric guitar players, so if they start listening to these kind of musicians, they have a bigger chance to be more developed themselves.
Yngwie, thank you so much for being on the show today. I wish you a lot of luck on the road with AC/DC. Sounds like an interesting show.
Thank you very much. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving in your country, and although I'll be dansar runt julgranen helt naken också, Catherine will be here to celebrate with you.
That's easy for you to say. Thanks for being here, Yngwie.
Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow, I'll also have a look at what's for dinner around the country, the most important feature of Thanksgiving, and video music in the spirit of the day from John Cougar Mellencamp, Hooters, and the Fat Boys. Plus, a preview of 2 new movies for Christmas. Have a good night.